Your next interview may not be with a person. Companies looking to fill all their vacancies are turning to automated video interviews, or AVI, to handle the growing number of interviews. Rachel Saif is a professor of psychology at NIU. She's joining us live to talk more about this growing trend. Dr. Saif, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Are we turning into a cyborg society? What is this about?
I wouldn't go that far quite yet, but it is becoming more popular. In a recent survey, about 86% of large companies are moving towards AVIs, or automated video interviews. And so these interviews, rather than using the more traditional method of face-to-face, ask applicants to film themselves responding to maybe similar interview questions, but then those responses are being analyzed by computers to draw inferences about characteristics of us, like our personality traits.
So give me an example of what it'll look like. Will I be listening to like a robotic voice? Will I be listening to or seeing, you know, what's the name? TV head, what is his name?
Headroom.
Max Headroom. Will I be seeing him?
So the worst part probably is like the increased self-awareness, just like whenever you're on camera, you're very aware you're on camera, but rather than having like a robotic voice prompting you, usually a recruiter or the company will send you a list of questions for you to respond to. Usually there's a time limit as well, so that way the person or computer who's analyzing this information, it's not a huge amount of information, but usually it is a self-guided interview. So rather than sitting down in an office chair, you're sitting down in front of a computer.
Very impersonal. Who benefits from this? I mean, the interviewee or the interviewer?
So I would argue that there are benefits for both sides. The clear benefits for the organization is that they don't have to spend resources paying interviewers. And so the time of employees, whether it be hiring managers or consultants that they bring on to run those interviews, the cost is lower. And so you do lose a human element, and there is other research being done on applicant reactions to these things, but what is of consideration here is how we're using this information to make or draw conclusions about the characteristics of people that are being used for hiring decisions.
And you've been studying this. I mean, is it accurate in discerning the personality traits, and what does that mean for the future? Someone may act this way now, and this computer may see that person then, but what if they change when they leave that interview?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, that people might change the way that they behave. So the way that we present ourselves in interviews, usually it's, with the desire of getting the job. And so if you're motivated to present yourself in a way that you think is desirable for the job, chances are you'll be motivated to present yourself in that way once you do get the job as well. So as of now, that isn't the larger concern, but what is the concern is that we're now using different types of information to draw inferences about people's psychological characteristics. So because people are videotaping themselves, they're able to make use of nonverbal behaviors, so things like eye contact and facial movements. Paraverbal behaviors, things like tone of voice, intonation, and verbal behaviors like word count. And so making use of that type of behavior that wasn't really explicitly assessed before to draw conclusions about people's characteristics like personality traits.
Doctor, yay or nay on it? What do you think?
That is a great question, and I wish I could give you a straightforward answer. But as always with psychology, I must pull the stereotypical psychological response. It depends.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I will be upfront. It still depends, but it is useful if you think about it. Not relying wholeheartedly on human judgment is useful for possibly avoiding certain biases in human judgment.
All right.
So there are some benefits that might come from using automated video interviews, but we need to understand more about the types of information that computers are picking up on, and if we're accurately tapping into what we know as personality.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Dr. Rachel Saif from NIU. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.